Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun, as always, is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Yeah, so international titles for this episode. Let's just get right in.
Christ.
Pretty much everybody got it, a little closer. There's a couple of weird ones here.
No one's going to get why you're doing this.
In Hungary, this is funny. In Hungary, they just call this witchcraft.
It's going to take them
like
so long
Hungary,
to get
there's
to
going to be
this.
more witch episodes. That's crazy for you, Hungary, to do that.
They're going to have to get through so far before they get why this is funny.
In Germany, it's just called The Great Pumpkin. Sam Winchester kind of makes it sound like he's the Great
All
Pumpkin.
right, let's get into it.
Ghost Facers! We're facing ghosts, when others will not. We're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. Ghost Facers! We're facing nightmare, we're facing dread. Ghost Facers! We're facing faceless, we're facing dead.
Welcome to Ghost Facers. Today we're discussing Season 4, Episode 7. It's The Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester.
Hark the... Oh, no, wait.
Nope, wrong one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's because
Too many steps removed.
and we're in the middle of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't help it. We're in the midst of it. So we got a review.
Hey,
Look at that.
very
We're
nice.
back to back, baby. We're getting reviews coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You're all showing you love us, and we love you back.
Yeah. Mostly.
Casey Kasem.
It's crazy to me that you have a pretty good Casey Kasem impression, because that is
We've got a review. And...
it's just like an unusable tool to have in your belt.
Oh, you mean it's not a relevant impression these days?
Yeah, listen, you get a Seacrest going, then we'll talk.
No, come on. Let's talk about Peter Rabbit.
What?
There was I think it's a Peter. It's either it's like it's the they have those like the like seasonal movies or whatever. There's like a Easter one that is Casey Kasem's voice.
What?
Yeah,
It's like a Beatrix Potter thing, like a Peter Rabbit or something.
It's either that or it's just like a straight up Easter Bunny one. But he does a voice for it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, look it up.
Weird.
Casey Kasem coming in at 5-star review.
Weird.
We've got Cheddar _ via Apple Podcast Canada.
Ooh, Canadian.
That's right. With the subject, the perfect podcast.
Fuck yeah.
We're done here. We can
Say no more.
Yeah, we'll finish the podcast now. We've made it.
Yeah.
We're the best.
Around. No one's ever gonna keep it down.
We're the podcast around.
Just read the review, man. Come on.
Wait, suddenly it's 4-star reviews. This is my document.
It heard that.
Wow.
Yeah.
They go on to say, what's better than reliving Supernatural with great humor and more Dean appreciation? It's starting to slightly concern me how much everyone's mentioning our Dean appreciation in all of these reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't define us.
Nope. Looking at you artwork. But they go on to say nothing. I mean, that's really what they wrote. And then keep it coming, guys. Love every episode so far.
You know what I want to keep coming? Dean.
Yeah. Fucking stop corn jerking. If you listen to last week's episode.
Man, those team names, Gamecocks and Corn Jerkers. In university, I was on a dodgeball team called the MILFs.
What did that stand for?
Look,
It just did.
Just
Okay.
the MILFs. And we got to the finals. We ended up winning, but the team we were playing was called the Flaming Cocks.
Really?
And so then we were saying each MILF could take multiple Flaming Cocks because we won.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
Each MILF took a bunch of cocks.
Each MILF could swallow a cock.
Because I was like really like sensitive and like I was just cool and good in university.
It's funny because that
There's
line's...
nothing broy or awful or problematic. I've never said anything I've regretted.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
It's funny because
tapes.
It does line up perfectly with this series.
Yeah. I know. I mean, honestly, we give Dean a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But we talk about how he's so much better by the end of the
But so
series,
are we.
But also so are we.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to acknowledge these things because we're learning lessons and they need to be communicated. But also, there is something to be said about it was a worse time and people just like didn't think in those terms. And it's bad and we should have.
But that's what it was.
But also,
so.
part of getting better and learning is allowing people to do so as long as they're acknowledging their faults.
Totally.
So, and I think they do. So, anyways, thank you so much, Cheddar. We appreciate it. This episode aired October 30th, 2008.
Ooh.
Written by, I think the first time we've had this writer, Julie Sieg.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or Siege. Siegee. G-E?
Sigee?
No, just one E.
Oh. Sig?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. So this was directed by Charles Beeson and viewed by an estimated 3.55 million viewers. Still going up.
That's up quite a bit. It was like 3.2 something last episode, wasn't it? Yeah, not bad.
And we've got 2 promos, so let's see if maybe they had something to do with
These
it.
fucking promos. Okay, so they're doing the rhyme scheme from a Christmas thing, and but it's like silly music, and they're like a special Halloween supernatural, but they only show just like normal serious ghost shit.
Yep.
I have like the opposite complaint almost as I do last week, which is like last week they took the promo too seriously. In the episode, you could have sold it on like, what if Dean was scared?
Yeah,
and that's kind of fun. This episode, the episode itself is not fun.
No.
But they're like, oh, it's a Halloween special.
Yeah, they took the note from last week. They're like, guys, what the hell? Like, that was not fun at all. And they're like, oh, it needs to be fun?
Oh, we could fun this shit.
Yeah. I'm going to fun all over this shit.
Oh, no.
It is fun and like in the spirit of the show, but not the right episode.
But not the spirit of the... Yeah, it's like they always just misjudge which episode it is, you know?
So, this episode is your classic Fall Out Boy title. It's...
Yeah.
The title is a nod to the Peanuts comic strip and TV special. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, from 1966. I can't believe it was from that long ago.
Ooh.
So, when we think about that, how do you think everybody did?
Oh, probably all over the place, because I bet you that special isn't as meaningful elsewhere as it is in like Canada and the U.S. I mean, frankly, I'm not even sure that special is meaningful in Canada. I think that's more of an American thing.
I agree. So, the first one, Germany.
Oh, okay. They probably called it The True Meaning of Halloween.
No, they tried to do the same title.
Really?
But they didn't, but they don't get it.
Oh, goodness. What a good, Sam.
That would be weird. Was that also your German?
Yeah.
Because it felt like it was leaning into maybe some things from last week. So the German title is very funny because I don't think they get that it's a reference to something.
Right.
So it's just called The Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester.
Oh, yeah, that's not... I mean, you're further from it, yeah. That makes it sound like Sam is the Great Pumpkin.
Yes,
the Great
it does.
Pumpkin, comma, Sam Winchester is like, man, that's the reveal?
Yes. He's been a great pumpkin
He's been
the whole
a great
time.
pumpkin the whole time.
Oh my God.
You know, so-so performances sometimes, but a great pumpkin.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's gourd.
Jesus Christ. Good Lord.
The Hungarian title. It's about what's happening for sure.
Right. Is it like Lord of the Dead or like something like that?
No,
or...
it's more of the mechanics to get the Lord of the Dead.
Oh, right. So yeah, like summoning ritual or
Too specific.
Okay, then I don't know.
Witchcraft.
Oh. Really?
Above all other episodes.
Really?
Yep.
Hungary?
Yep.
This episode's just called Witchcraft?
Yep.
Jesus.
So the translation for the Brazilian title, I don't know. I don't know if it's one for what it says the English version of it is.
Right.
The English version just says the episode's called Halloween.
Sure.
But
on the nose.
the Brazilian title, as much as my Spanish will help me here.
Portuguese.
Based off of, it's a Latin language. It's closer to Spanish than it is to like French, right?
I mean, not overly, but I mean, guess slightly.
Because it's Dia das Bruja, I think. It's Bruxas.
Well, Bruja is witch.
Well, that's why I was
Day of the Witch.
Yeah, which I assume is what they call maybe Halloween there.
Or they're just calling this episode Day of the Witch.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Brazilians call Halloween.
So let us know.
It wasn't in Fast Five, so I don't know it. Brazil.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, and the French title.
Baby Bones.
Oh no,
it's part of the episode.
So
what was that? Oh no, sorry. Sexy student. They're focused on the wrong part. Of the episode.
Yeah. Bobbing for apples.
Oh yes, boiling, bobbing.
Yeah. No, this is weird. It's La Legend d'Halloween.
Oh, the legend. Oh,
Halloween legend.
That's kind of close to it.
Yeah,
the legend of Halloween. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Fair.
It's weird and broad, and I wonder if this is going to be what happens moving forward, because I thought they were going to try to do like their own bonkers titles, but it seems like instead they're just going, one thing. We'll just call it, this is Halloween or witchcraft. And I hope they don't go boring.
Right.
Because I don't know what to tell you, Hungry, but witchcraft's going to come back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
They've got, it's like, this episode called Witchcraft 13.
This
episode is called Witchcraft 27.
There's a really great, God, I can't remember the name of the comedian. I think I showed it to you once, but there's this really great bit on Conan where this comedian talks about the creation of all of the abbreviations for the states in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
When they bring it down to all of them get 2 letters.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, got this one. Like, California, it's like CA, and they're like, okay, Colorado, or it's like something else that like starts with a C and ends with an A. It's like California.
Well, there's also the thing like Missouri is MO or something, and then Montana has to be like MT because Minnesota is MN.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like how much it falls apart when it's like you start out real confident, and then it's like because I think
it's like alphabetical, right? So whoever's at the top of the list, they get the most like the closest ones. Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see as we move forward with these titles, what these end up turning into. Some featured music for this episode. A bunch of not classic rock bands, I'm thinking, because one is Just As Through With You by 9 Days, where I vaguely remember from like early 2000s. That sounds really familiar. And Bomb by 777, which is like such a fucking name for a... Both of them have numbers in them.
777.
Yeah, it's a very...
We're 111 better than Satan.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Good math. Good quick math, too.
I mean, good quick math. It's like... It's all ones. It's the easiest math in the world.
Oh, whatever. I didn't get it.
Ask me another.
Okay. What's 856 from 777?
There's a 9. It's
come on.
It's 79?
Sure.
Do it.
I can't tell you.
It's 79, I think.
Well, now you made me. Okay, fine. We'll do this on the podcast. This is going to be really great content. I don't have a calculator. You're going to do it?
You're holding an iPad. You have a calculator.
There's no calculator. I just looked up calculator and one isn't on here already.
I mean, it comes with it.
It doesn't.
You got rid of it.
I didn't.
I got it.
Wow.
I mean,
That's 10 more than something that's even better.
Not very. Oh, nice. Not very fast, but I got there.
You got there quicker than I did.
Yeah.
I just believed you. You could have said anything.
Yeah.
You're like 200. I'm like, sure.
Yep.
Math. TV Guide describes this episode as a witch sacrifices people in a small town to summon a demon who may be a key to freeing Satan. To stop her, Castiel brings in a special angel who intends to destroy the town.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Yeah, they don't give too much away with that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and as Todd Stashwick told us, the show does this, not TV Guide, which I assumed.
mean, even more outrageous.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, with that, before we get into today's episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Let's see what the lore says about
Samhain.
Yeah, baby. Samhain.
Nice. Samhain.
Hey, Samhain.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You could just call him Sammy, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Sammy baby?
Ooh. Too formal. Dead.
Yeah. So Samhain is the name of a Gaelic festival marking the end of harvest and the transition to the winter, or like the dark half of the year.
Sure.
It was celebrated widely by many Celtic and Gaelic cultures, including Irish, Scottish, the Britons, the
fucking
Cornish, the Welsh.
Dirty Irish.
Yeah. Fuck you. No, we already got through yellow fever.
No, I think one episode from it's not far enough.
Yeah. And, the Isle of Man, that's another place where it was celebrated.
That's right.
The festival or the celebration would run from like the evening of October 31st through to the evening of November 1st.
Yeah.
And it's thought of as the origin of modern day Halloween traditions. So, Samhain dates back well over 1,000 years, and it's a part of early Irish folklore. Now, in folklore, it was said that people would sacrifice children to the Fomorians, who are like giants and like fae folk from Irish legend.
Yeah.
Sort of supernatural beings or whatever. In real life, Samhain was one of 4 main celebrations, each tied to like solstices and equinoxes. So Samhain is, roughly around the autumnal equinox. Actually, that's not even true, but it's.
Oh my God. Is this bad lore?
Well, I mean, the autumnal equinox is in September, but whatever. You know what? I'm packing this up.
Yeah, no, you fucked up now.
I didn't fuck up. I mean, like that's like it's the cardinal positions of their calendar compass, but it's just not pointed north. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's all adjusted. Like they don't do Samhain and they go like quick into winter. Ritual bonfires were lit to drive away winter darkness. Sometimes people would bring the fire back to their homes. It was believed to be kind of cleansing and protective. Early literature describes feasts and celebration, as well as the opening of ancient burial mounds seen as gateways to the other side. So the festival celebrated those solstice and equinox times are supposed to be, specifically the equinoxes, I think, are meant to be like when the boundary is thinnest between our world and the other side, right? And so they were celebrating that kind of weakening threshold. It was sometimes these things are called liminal festivals because of that. So the idea was that the feasts and the food and the drink were to appease I'm not going to pronounce this right, I'm so sorry, the AOS. It's AOS space SI, which I assume in Irish is pronounced like Orshi or something. Like it's got a pronunciation I'm not going to find.
Oh, isn't she on the AOC? Isn't she on the
squad? Yeah, baby. The idea was if you appeased them, you would help your family and your livestock, and that survive the winter.
Yeah.
People would dress in costume as either an imitation or a disguise from these supernatural entities, and they would go door to door reciting verses in exchange for food.
Trick or treat, smell my feet.
And
give me
that's the
something
ancient
good
text.
to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sacred text.
Not too big, not too small, just the size
Doesn't
of
make sense.
Montreal.
Doesn't make any sense. That has to go with the I see London, I see
No,
France
it doesn't. That doesn't. No.
underpants thing. So that's a thing called mumming, where you go,
Mummy.
oh,
Been a bad boy.
yeah, and then on the solstices we go daddy.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's
culturally insensitive.
Irish Bill, right?
But yeah, so it started as like, yeah, they would. There seems to be a sort of equal parts reverence and fear of these supernatural beings. So the dressing up was like, yeah, either to appease them, like, look, we dressed like you, or to hide yourself from them so they couldn't get you.
Yeah.
The chanting of verses and that was meant to kind of keep them away or whatever, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you also kind of wanted their help. There's like an interesting kind of dynamic there, but there's a slight kind of element of the fear thing. Some of those things be turned into stuff like playing pranks. So if you're there's a writer here whose name I'm not going to remember. His last name is Hutton, who kind of wrote about these practices.
Hutton, I barely know him.
Jesus. Who said, when imitating malignant spirits, it's a very short step from guising, dressing up, to playing pranks. So playing pranks at Samhain
like a trick or a treat.
It dates back as far as like the 18th century in terms of being like actually recorded.
Yeah.
And then Samhain was being nicknamed Mischief Nights in some parts.
Devil's Night?
Wearing costumes at Halloween spread to England, kind of in the 20th century, as did playing pranks. And then same with the mumming and all that kind of stuff. And then those traditions came over to North America with Irish and Scottish migration. Because obviously there's a ton of Irish and Scottish immigration in the early days of colonial era in North America. And just continuing, even with the potato famine and things like that.
Yeah.
Canada and the U.S., especially Eastern Canada and the U.S., have strong ties to Ireland and Scotland.
Definitely.
And so then those traditions, all that stuff about, dressing up and playing pranks and the Samhain stuff, that came over here. So Halloween also developed in North America that way too.
Totally.
But I get this is not, I mean, who knows now, just because of how media works and things like that, perhaps it's spread more globally even, but they're really kind of Celtic based.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that you're going to find like a bunch of ancient Halloween traditions elsewhere.
Sure.
Although I would suspect, like with many things, that there are parallels.
Like
it might not be like we dress up and we go door to door.
It's
or something like
zeitgeisty,
that.
right? Like it's just in the maybe in like.
But there are lots of like autumnal rites. We're transitioning to winter. We want help from the spirits, or we're celebrating our harvest. Like those things are everywhere. So who knows? Like there could be like versions or approximations that then get like folded in the way that like Christmas trees are pagan things folded into a Christian tradition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff happens all the time.
I always think that's super interesting where it's like of different sides of the world, like people come to the same sort of ideas.
Yeah.
Like beyond just like tools and craft, but like same sort of like conceptions end up developing where it's like we have a version of that thing. And it's not because that thing exists, but because it's like, oh, well, because of these same sort of connections, it's like
we're
we
observing the same things and drawing it's a coincidental inspiration kind of thing.
I always think that's so cool.
So the last kind of piece that I wanted to talk about here is the traditional illumination for geysers or pranksters abroad on the night in some places were provided by turnips, or they say Mongol wurzels. I don't know what that is. Hollowed out to act as lanterns and often carved with grotesque faces. They were set on windowsills.
Holy shit.
So the lanterns were meant to represent like spirits of supernatural beings to ward off evil spirits and that, but that's where we get jack-o'-lanterns and
holy shit,
pumpkin carving and shit like that.
I'm going to start doing turnips now.
Be like,
bring it back.
We don't go to that house.
Yeah.
That guy's carving turnips, and you don't know what's going on in the mind of a guy carving a turnip.
No, I'm bringing it back.
Oh my god,
going back to sacrificing days.
Oh Jesus.
So
there you go. Samhain is kind of like proto Halloween, but what's interesting is it's the name of the festival, not the name of a guy.
And even more so, not to step on your toes, but it's actually not pronounced Samhain.
Of course it's not. I'm just a godless heathen.
Samhain is actually not pronounced that way, but rather it's actually pronounced Samhain, as it is a Gaelic word and thus a Gaelic pronunciation.
Yeah, and in some areas where it's spelt more like that. It's like Sauin. Gaelic pronunciations are like
bonkers,
among the hardest in the world,
yes.
Especially if you're going into like other kind of Celt languages like Welsh or Breton or things like that. But
it gets a lot more challenging for sure.
Yeah.
Support for Ghostfacers is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SPN20 at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the details on the 4.0 are next level. I've been terrified to use my razor for years because of nicks and cuts and all that stuff. This is way better than that. I mean, I had literally had zero problems using this. It's 100% worth the purchase. And yeah, you definitely want to get into this. Manscaped engineering the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and the incredible comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, I now feel confident shaving my boys. For my boys. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 to 4. Did I mention wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help the battery length last even longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball, hair, and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice smooth boys. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SPN20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SPN20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SPN20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And with that, why don't we get into today's episode? The then in this is kind of fun. It's a lot of, we get some previous Halloween episodes as well as just like a slew of monsters and ghosts.
Yep.
As well as, of course, Castiel.
Oh my God.
Grip me. Period.
He's got, I mean,
the energy he has in these first few episodes is crazy.
it is kind of interesting to revisit. He's so stern.
I know.
He's such
daddy.
He's got like some Dom energy.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever.
But
sorry.
also like Misha's like jaw in this episode.
Yeah.
Especially the scene at the end where they're sitting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh Jesus, Misha, he's fucking bringing it.
Cut my thighs, Jesus.
Into pieces.
So, with that, we go into the now. 2 days before Halloween, a mother brings home candy for trick-or-treaters as a husband sneaks that candy.
Yeah. And he pulls a move I've never pulled, didn't relate to, where the mom is like, we're going to go up for bath time with the little kid. And it's like, are you coming? He's like, I'll be right up. As if he had something to do downstairs before going upstairs.
Yep.
As soon as she's out of sight, he's in the candy. That didn't speak to me.
Or me. I may not have a kid.
I'll be right up.
Yep. I'd be right there. And then the key...
You're eating candy.
The key is also how much can you eat on the steps up the stairs? Yep.
Gulp.
It's a constant thing, and it's like, is it something that's going to also smell on my breath when I get to my wife?
Yeah. I've never thought of these things at all, ever.
We're not...
I've never, like, gotten McDonald's drive-through and then, like, pulled over to a park to throw the bag out in a garbage can in the park so I don't have to dispose of it at my house.
So the key is you shove it into the little like side area on the
Not if she's going
door.
to be driving the car next.
Oh, see that?
I mean, I've never thought of that either.
Also, the glove box is really nice for the center.
That's where our COVID masks are. I can't mess with that area.
All right, fair. I mean, not that I've ever had to do that either.
Gulp.
Gulp. So, as the husband is sneaking the candy,
The secret, like, weird shame of just suburban husbands.
yes, because our family cares about us and wants to stop destroying our
Supposed
body.
to be healthy.
Ugh. The husband sneaks the candy and ends up getting a fucking razor blade lodged into the top of his mouth.
It's fucked. This effect is crazy with like the camera. Like
I
from
want to know how they
inside
did
the
it. Yeah.
mouth, and he's reaching in, and you can see it lodged.
It looks so realistic. I'm like, how did they do this?
It's a really good effect.
we need to reach out to Ivan about this because I'm desperate to know how they did that.
It's very cool.
It's such a cool effect. And so yeah, he pulls out this fucking razor blade and it's awful. And then he just starts choking on razor blades
and coughing up more razor blades.
It's fucked up. It's so dark.
And then like the mom comes downstairs and goes like, "What's taking so long?" and
Screams.
And I had this thought,
Yeah.
which is she's holding the kid.
I know. I kept worrying that she was going to drop the kid because she was so scared.
That's not what I was worried about,
Oh.
but I was thinking like as an actor,
Yeah.
you're holding the kid. You finally have a shot
Yeah.
where the kid's not crying. You got to take advantage of those.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that she does, 'cause she's
Scream.
directed to, is scream.
Which is going to make that kid cry. Though you can't really see that reaction on the kid, which is nice.
You know, and they cut away relatively fast, but like, I was thinking about that. Like, they probably spent so much time like calming the kid
Yep.
down, and then it's like, all right, here we go, throw it out the window. We need like a second and a half of coverage.
Yeah, unlike the first episode of the entire series where they were trying to make a baby cry.
That's right.
So the next day, the day before Halloween, Sam and Dean are investigating this murder or this death.
Yes.
So Dean discovers there's a hex bag behind the fridge because they're having this conversation and they start asking his wife, was there anything weird? And
They're
just
doing their normal FBI thing about like, you know, would someone have wanted to hurt him? Do you
well,
think he
no,
was
because
having an
first they were sort of
affair?
having a
Was it-
vague conversation about like what happened, and as Sam's having this chat, Dean pulls a hex bag out, and then immediately Sam goes, "Okay, now I need to ask these very specific questions."
Did he have enemies? Was he maybe having an affair or something like that? And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "We just have to be thorough." And she brings up the very good point of like,
Yes.
if someone's trying to kill him, why would they put one razor blade
In our-
a piece of candy that he might eat?
Yes, like that. The intent is to give to other people.
Yeah,
So
kind of roundabout.
Yeah, and very, very, very good point. So they, but they can't find any reason why someone would want him dead. So they head back to the motel. Back at the motel, Sam researches, surprised as Dean walks in eating candy.
Yeah, and Sam's like, "You're not put off by this based on like the crime scene we just came from?"
It's just like, whatever. Like, he eats so much candy in this episode. It's very, very funny. Sam reminds Dean that for them, every day is Halloween, which is a nod to the industrial rock band Ministry and their song "Every Day is Halloween," which is fun.
I mean, is that actually a nod, or is it just that he's talking about every day there's ghosts and ghouls and shit?
I don't know. It's an opportunity. And I assumed
Thinking a thing does not make it trivia.
unless I think it, and then it is fact. In the hex bag, Sam finds gold thread, an herb. Are you going to be okay? Did you not bring your
It's
puffer?
just a bunch of razor blades. It's okay.
Yeah. Did you not bring your puffer?
It's at work.
Oh, God.
I'm all right.
Okay. In the hex bag, Sam finds gold thread, an herb supposedly extinct for 200 years, a century-old Celtic coin, and, of course...
No, he says 600-year-old Celtic coin.
a
And a century-old.
centuries-old Celtic coin.
Not what you said. Check the tapes.
And the charred... I can change them.
No.
And the charred finger bone of an infant,
Yeah.
as you do. All the indications of an extremely powerful witch at work.
Well, yeah, and the point was like these are not easy ingredients.
No.
This is extremely powerful magic. The rarity of the ingredients of the hex bags points to something very dark and sinister and powerful.
Totally. That evening.
So then they're also like, so why just this random dad?
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? So that evening, we go to a high school party. A group of students playing Bobbin' for Apples.
Never happened at any party I ever went to.
No. I only knew of it as like a trope, but...
Listen, I got to say something here. We were in high school, and obviously when you're in high school, your hormones are raging.
You're horny as hell.
You're horny as hell. So high school parties are
Horny
weirdly
as hell.
horny.
Yes.
As like
a dad?
As like a dad, even though I know that is true and that is what they are depicting, I am so uncomfortable with this scene with like these two
high school girls.
These two high school girls who are like very clearly like, I'll go bobbing for apples and I'll give you an indication what else I could bob for.
Yes.
Like, pulling the hair back and stuff. I'm like, why are we doing this? No. Where are your parents? I'm like, get out of here.
Didn't your dad teach you better than this?
There's a part of me that like activated and I was like, no.
Yeah. That's very funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly, so the one girl goes bobbing for apples.
I shouldn't be watching this. I don't need to know. Kids will do what they do. I'll be upstairs. I was like,
here's some snacks. I'll leave you guys alone.
I'd rather you do it here than.
Yeah. That's very funny. You're in full dad. That's very funny.
It was just like a weird moment for me where it's like, I know exactly what's happening here.
I was in those moments.
So that it was like, oh man. Life has really changed my perspective on it. I wasn't like, oh, great, a sexy high school party. Which is
that's
good, I
good.
guess. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, man.
So, the one girl goes bobbing for apples, very instantly gets one.
Yeah.
She's great at bobbing.
You kids need any more snacks down there?
Here's some Dr. Pepper. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm watching the game.
Yeah. So the girl who was sort of like dismissive about the whole bobbing for apples thing decided, well, she can do that too. She can go down there forever. So is it changing your perspective?
No. It was I was just gonna say in a way she does.
Yeah. So she goes bobbing for apples and isn't able to do it. And then suddenly gets stuck.
Well, then she can't pull herself out.
She can't pull out.
She can't pull herself out. Hey, step bro, I'm stuck in the bobbing for apples.
Suddenly
but then it's so you're like, oh fuck, she's gonna drown. It's magic, and she can't get like
the other kids start trying to help her,
pull her out, and they can't. Like nothing's holding her there other than magic, and you're like, fuck, she's gonna drown. And but then like to add insult to injury, I guess the thing starts boiling. It's crazy.
It's so disturbing.
Yeah.
The scene.
It's a good effect though too of her face getting red, like the shot from in the tub, and you see her face getting red and stuff. Another good shot.
Yeah. The scene where this party girl Jenny, who's dressed in a nurse's costume, dies after being scalded in hot water while bobbing for apples, could pay possible homage to the original Halloween 2, where a nurse named Karen is killed by Michael Myers in a very similar fashion.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's probably intentional.
Yeah, I would think so.
That feels like real trivia.
For sure. Her friend, Tracy Davis, tells Sam and Dean that she doesn't know how it happened.
Okay, hang on. We got to back up a little bit here.
Yeah.
That happens, and then we see like the cops are taking statements, and the cops are like, were you drinking? She's like, yeah, whatever, because this tragedy has happened. Sam and Dean show up, and Dean clocks the cheerleader or whatever and goes, I'll handle this. And Sam goes, 2 words, jailbait. And Dean goes, come on, that's not what I mean. I just mean like, I'm going to go talk to her. And then he kind of gives this look like, unless.
Oh.
And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I know it's always like Dean thinks about sex a lot, but like Dean's got to have a line, man. Like, and he's not. That's kind of the end of it. Like, it never goes more than that. He never like really hits on her or anything like that. But like, why even put that in? Why is he like even like an eye like?
Like, why put in the high school girls? Am I right? Moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a man who didn't have a father. That's who wrote that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at you, Oh, Julie C.
Oh no. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it's just like a remnant of an old Dean joke that like at this point we're kind of past.
Yeah. I don't know.
It again, and then they just move on.
It definitely
never becomes a thing.
It
But it's
occurred
just like,
to me.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, why is that there?
Yeah, it felt unnecessary.
Like Sam has to remind him of jail, like bait or whatever.
Yeah. Dean, which also means
And
like,
also,
does that mean Sam's thinking
but
that
this
too?
is also the thing. The term jailbait implies that it's like, no, I know this is a trap.
Ugh.
Where it's like, no, it's not a trap. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
It's not right. It's not like I got tricked.
I think the word you're looking for is illegal.
Yeah, this young cheerleader tricked me.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
that's not what happened, right? That's,
If by you mean that means you're going to go to jail, that's the word you're looking for is illegal.
it's just one of those things. It's just a remnant.
And also fucked up.
It's a remnant of like
Different time, which I hate saying.
vocabulary from that we are more conscious of now.
Yeah.
And but even for the show, it feels like that's like a season 1 joke.
Definitely.
It feels a little out of place.
Yeah. Dean introduces himself as FBI agent Seeger.
Yeah.
A possible nod to Bob Seeger.
Turn the page.
Amazing.
Wait, a possible nod? What other Seeger could it be? We already know that all of their FBI names are like rock stars and
but
stuff.
if we're not guaranteed, it's just possible. If they don't say Bob Seeger, then technically it's all possible. Both Jensen and Ashley Benson started on daytime soap operas Days of Our Lives together, although in different years.
Oh, okay. I was going to say like actually together?
No, not together. But they both have been on Days of Our Lives and started there. Another hex bag turns up in the couch. With some reason, Sam concludes that this isn't a grudge at work, but a spell.
Yes.
It's less of like they're going after these people, but they're doing things to like specifically like unlock something.
Yeah.
Calling for 3 blood sacrifices over 3 days, the last before midnight on the final day of the final harvest.
Yeah.
The witch is summoning
It's
the demon.
Yeah,
Samhain.
So they call the demon, sorry, Samhain,
That's right.
because now that I know.
Yes.
Yeah, in the show, it's a specific demon.
Yes.
So the idea is that the festival was maybe to keep him away. Or
Yes.
something like that.
That's right. So they're trying to summon Samhain on Halloween, the day on the Celtic calendar where the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest.
That's right.
The drawings of Samhain that Sam shows to Dean are actually Gustav Dor's illustration of Dante's Infernos from the Divine Comedy and have nothing to do with Samhain.
Moving on.
The character is a nod to Samhain from an episode of The Real Ghostbusters in 1986.
Oh, interesting.
The Real Ghostbusters, When Halloween Was Forever, 1986, in which the ghost of Halloween is summoned during a ritual and the creatures of the night follow him around like a Pied Piper. As Sam says, the inspiration for the RGB Samhain came from the god demon of Halloween in Ray Bradbury's book, The Halloween Tree.
Interesting.
So it's really closer to this Ghostbusters thing than it is to the actual like Samhain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That
Just
makes sense.
interesting.
Well, I guess if you're making a monster out of an event,
Yes.
then you got to go with what are other examples of us doing that? Yeah,
Exactly. Once Samhain returns...
Doesn't Sam say that this thing can only happen every 500 years or 600 years?
I think something like that, yeah. Once Samhain returns, he can raise other things from hell, which promises a bloodbath if he can't be stopped.
Yeah, basically like all things
Yes.
that they fight. Zombies,
Yeah.
ghosts,
Totally.
etc.
On Halloween day, the next day, Dean discovers that Tracy is in fact the Wallace family's babysitter.
Yeah, that there's a connection there because he talked to her and she didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
She said she didn't know anything about that guy. So then he's like, "Oh, I'm being lied to.
Totally.
She's a witch."
Yep. So Sam learns of a violent altercation with one of the teachers and that she was suspended from school.
Yeah.
He and Dean visit Don Harding.
God,
Great.
what a cool teacher.
Yeah.
I really believe in like the promise of these children.
Yeah, they all call me Don, even the students.
Yeah, I'm cool.
The
I have
art-
longish hair.
Which, like, in every school I've ever seen and story, this guy always tries to fuck the students, right?
I also was thinking that.
Yeah,
I was like, every time you show the cool teacher, it's because some sort of sexual impropriety is occurring.
Yes, every story of like teachers in schools of my hometown, one of those like at least has tried to fuck a student, like, or they have a weird thing. There was one teacher who's like weirdly giving back rubs and stuff. Like,
man.
Often it's the drama teacher. If it's like a straight dude, typically that's end up what's happening.
I have a prof from drama school from university who was fully that guy.
Yep,
who's like, I ride a bike, I wear a beanie, everything is politics.
Yes.
And it was like, oh yeah, and he's the guy that like constantly has predatory behavior.
Yep.
And has fucked a student.
Yep. And he's got this guy Don, the art teacher, has got masks that seem to remind Dean of hell.
Right.
Which is something that comes up.
Yeah.
Don claims Tracy, the babysitter, nearly clawed his eyes out when they're recanting the story of the attack.
Yeah.
After he told her work was inappropriate and disturbing.
Yeah.
Describing pages of cryptic symbols and violent drawings in which she participated in horrific killings.
Right.
No one can locate Tracy to follow up.
Yeah, and like Sam shows the teacher some iconography, and he's like, yeah, that kind of looks like the symbols that were in her art or whatever.
Exactly.
And they can't find her because she has her own place because she's like an emancipated teen, meaning that she like moved to town with no parents.
Yeah.
Kind of is the idea.
Totally. So the Winchesters return to their motel room, where they find two men who Sam quickly points a gun at until Dean reveals one of them is Castiel.
That's right.
But
he's back, baby.
We don't know who the other one is.
No, but he's just staring out the window.
Not even facing them at all. Yeah. Castiel greets Sam, who is enthusiastic to finally meet an angel.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, sir.
Yeah, so funny.
My lord. He's just, yeah.
While the latter is hesitant to even shake his hand.
Yeah, well, and when Castiel does shake his hand, he goes, that's right, Sam Winchester, the boy with the demon blood. Glad that you've stopped your
extracurricular activities.
So, you can tell that there's a little bit of like, not necessarily a distrust of Sam, but a distrust of what's in him.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is going to be your monster of a week, but I'm going to give some information because he introduces the other man as the angel Uriel.
Which we will dive into in a later episode.
But let me give you some broad strokes here. Deal with it.
How dare you?
Well, I should have made it your monster this week. So Uriel's status in Christian and Jewish tradition is circumspect. Up until the Council of Rome in 745, he was accepted by the Catholic Church. However, during the Council of Rome, he and other angels were stuck with only 3 remaining: Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. The others were struck in an effort to curb angel worship. Uriel is not mentioned in any Western accepted biblical text. Rather, he appears in the apocryphal books not accepted by any Western Christian church. Despite this, he was venerated in the Anglican Church as well as other Eastern Orthodox and Oriental Orthodox communities.
So we're just eating my whole lunch. You can't have more notes. This is what the lore segment is for. We're coming back to Uriel. That's enough of this.
In traditional lore, the angel Uriel is known as the angel of purification, earning him the title.
Episode, I'm just going to be like, there's fucking nothing. Richard did it.
We talk about the purifier. It's important to mention it here, earning him this title, the purifier, which is probably why Castiel introduced him as a specialist. Uriel alludes to this title when he says, this isn't the first time I've purified a city. And when he winks for some reason.
Yeah, this is a fun way for in like a couple of weeks for me to just be like, I don't know, we've already fucking did it.
Uriel's status as a grunt angel is at odds
it's not
with
that hard
traditional
to not
lore.
Read a thing. Just don't.
Given that Uriel is often identified as an archangel. Castiel asked if they learned the witch's identity, which
hey man,
yeah,
fuck you. I'm just not gonna do it. Then
first come first serve, baby.
That's not how this works. You know, this is like we are making a thing together.
So I'm working against you.
Clearly.
Castiel asked if they learned the witch's identity, which they confirmed before he shows them. A hex bag was stashed, and you're still at him.
Yes. I have a document that you refuse to look at that shows when I'm planning to do things. You know that I'm planning to do it.
I just gave broad strokes. That's like a little tiny thing that I gave.
How long do you think the segment is?
They usually last. I edit it every week, and it lasts about 10 minutes. So that was only about 3.
How dare you?
You got lots of time.
I'm upset.
I'm sorry. You can't do more research. Get more information than what I gave you.
Oh, why would
I only
I?
gave broad strokes.
You're just going to do it.
I just give broad strokes.
Why would I bother?
Unless you feel like I did a better job at researching than you could.
No, it's that you did such a poor job that why would I go back and retread a thing that's going to give people bad memories of the poor job you did? Why re-traumatize the audience?
Sorry for your lack of creativity, but
why I'm going to tie a metaphorical iron chain
oh my god
around the terrified ghost of our audience.
Jeez, are you trying to say
and road haul them through the lore you butchered?
Jesus Christ. So dramatic. So
you have hurt me today.
Castiel shows them a hex bag that was stashed in the wall of the room. The witch is obviously onto the investigation, and they are short on time. Castiel reveals that raising of Samhain is one of the 66 seals.
Yeah.
You shut the fuck up, Jesus Christ. Grow up. He advises Sam and Dean to leave town because
Uriel shows up. Spoiler alert in some more episodes. Samhain only shows up in this one, so it kind of makes sense that we did the lore on Samhain here. Could have saved Uriel for.
I also had to get some Samhain information because you apparently didn't find that either.
Got plenty of Samhain information.
Just we're mispronouncing it the whole time. It's fine.
Fuck yourself. I'm gonna check my emails. You keep going. I'm gonna do something else.
Fully checks out. It's so petty. Dean refuses to leave short of being killed himself. And Castiel agrees to hold off so the witch can be stopped before she summons the demon. Sam is disappointed by the angel's behavior because they leave and Sam's just like, what the fuck, man? And Dean's like, what? The angels are dicks. I don't understand.
Yeah. It's I kind of feel for Sam in this moment because it's like you look up to someone or you expect a certain level of behavior.
Jesus Christ.
From them. And
oh my God.
And then you're encountered with the reality of the situation and the disappointment, the betrayal that you feel. It's probably the most I've ever related to Sam, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you are a real Sam. We all know that.
Yeah, I'm the smart one who's getting this fucking lunch eaten.
Don't leave it on the counter, baby. Dean asks him not to lose faith in the cause behind them. Babe Ruth was a dick, he says, but baseball's still a beautiful game. Podcasting is still great. Sam realizes
this is going to be a very long, very quiet episode.
Content, wonderful.
The uncomfortable car ride of episodes. That's what this is.
Yeah, I just caught you drinking blood. So
yeah.
Dean refuses to leave short of being killed. So he's just like, I'm gonna fucking stay here. Like, you can kill me if you want, but like, I'm gonna protect these people. Sam realizes that the infant's bone from the hex bag is too charred to come from a normal fire.
Yeah, I've tried to burn baby bones.
Baby bones don't burn at this degree.
Yeah, he's a baby bone truther. Yeah. Conventional ovens don't burn hot enough to char baby bones.
Jet fuel doesn't burn baby bones.
This hex bag was an inside job.
Inside the bag.
Job.
So they go back to the high school art department. The hex bag showed up after confronting the teacher.
Yeah,
so
because there's like kilns there. That's why they go back there. They're like,
oh.
There's like for pottery and shit like that. They're like, that would burn hot enough.
Exactly. When introducing themselves to the pottery teacher, the brothers introduce themselves as Agent Getty and Agent Lee.
They've already talked to the teacher, though. When they go back this time, they're just searching.
Yeah, it must have been the previous time.
And they break open like his desk and shit.
So I think this was from the last time they had went there. But
maybe if you didn't spend so much time fucking chomping at the lore I was going to do in a couple of episodes, you could have got this shit
It was just so ripe and available. It was begging for me to get it.
2 words, man. Jailbait.
Like, like a high school party.
How dare you?
It was just waiting for me.
Jesus. I don't know, man.
I don't like that.
I don't know, man.
No, I don't like that either.
Jesus.
Well, I can't help it. It's written down. I have no choice. Written down by me.
Even your jokes.
Yeah, all of them. They find more children's bone in Don's desk.
Like even like a jaw and
Yeah.
shit. It's fucked up.
Yeah, how are they getting those? I don't like it.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
That baby fight club that they hang
So
out.
they're like, fuck, it's not the student. This guy's the fucking witch.
Exactly.
Shit.
Meanwhile, Castiel tells...
And I think so far we haven't encountered a male witch.
No.
So it's actually like a
Yeah.
decent misdirect that way. Because
Yeah.
I think we're like, because also even just like linguistically.
Yeah.
And
Media
historically,
and-
it's been a way to persecute women. So.
Totally. So we cut back to Castiel, who's telling Uriel to be patient with the humans. There's a reason they saved Dean from hell. He has potential and might succeed at this task. Uriel is not convinced and urges removing Dean and proceeding with the town's destruction. Castiel rebukes him by saying, "You know our true orders." When Castiel tells Uriel he's close to blasphemy, he's referring to God's decree that angels love and marvel humans more than they did him.
Yeah, well, and Uriel, I kind of tuned out while you were talking.
Jesus Christ.
Uriel calls them mud monkeys.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like, I don't know, like it might be a made up word, but it almost
Certainly
100%
doesn't-
feels like a thing that's been said in real life at some point somewhere.
Yeah.
In just exactly the context he means it.
They only
Like, where
really
it's
get
like-
away that could because Uriel's the one saying it.
Well, because the actor playing Uriel is black.
Yes.
And I think that's the only way you get away with that.
100% that's the only way.
Because it's gross.
Yep, I don't like it.
It's supposed to feel that way too. You can feel Uriel's contempt
Yeah.
for humanity. It's very similar to like the contempt that you might feel
Jesus
from a
Christ.
co-host who takes your segment prematurely. It's a pretty big transgression. It'd be hard, I think, to get over it.
Did I cuck your lore?
I was cucked by
yeah,
you.
by my. You were lore cucked.
I was lore cucked.
The biggest transgression that can possibly meet against you.
Yeah. It's the worst form of treason. In Dante's Inferno, you would be in one of the mouths of the Cerberus.
Jesus.
It'd be like you and Judas Iscariot and Brutus.
Wow. You think maybe just an over simplification and maybe a little dramatic.
Yeah,
and
easy for you to say. Yeah, you know how I feel.
Yeah, it's easy for me to simplify boring content. Would you shut the fuck up? Jesus Christ. As trick-or-treaters go about their business, Sam and Dean interrupt Don, sacrificing Tracy in his basement.
Yeah. I was sacrificing her, officer.
Oh, no.
It's always the cool teacher.
See? Always beware of the cool teacher.
Yeah, they shoot him,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
Yeah, before he can hurt Tracy, who
And then
reveals
they-
herself as the witch.
Yeah, they release Tracy, and then she was like, "Did you see what he was going to do to me?"
He was so-
it was such sloppy incantation. And you're like, God damn it, she is a witch.
Great, switch.
It's a good turn.
Yeah, I really liked that turn. That was just like,
And you
yeah.
reveal that they're siblings.
Yes, and they've been basically for centuries trying to do this.
And he was going to use her as the final sacrifice
Yeah.
to raise Samhain. And she's like, but now I'll use him
Yeah.
because you shot him. Thanks, boys.
Yep. It's weird that she did finger guns.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool, actually. I wish she did it. Yeah. Maybe not something like that, though.
I don't know.
She incapacitates the boys and completes the spell. Sam then takes it, the blood and smears it, like Don's blood, and smears it on him and Dean's face.
Yeah, and the ground cracks, demon smoke comes up,
Yeah.
invades Don's dead body,
Yeah.
and he rises as Samhain. He kisses I guess it's not Samhain's sister, but he kisses Don's sister. So
Yeah,
that's weird.
I think they were like, they suggest that the sister and Samhain were like together at some point.
Yeah,
which
but
I
he
don't-
just snaps her neck or whatever.
He calls her a whore,
Yeah.
which I don't really get.
Kind of seems like unnecessary because we haven't really established that that's what she was doing.
Yeah, there was no like proof of her philandering. Like
It's not like her and Dawn were unrelated demons and they were a thing.
Yeah,
she was
no.
using it. Like it's that kind of like, again, another kind of remnant of supernatural kind of misogyny that's
Yes.
like largely gone from the show, but a little pervasive.
yes.
So
he's
they really bellowed this witch. Let's just put it that way.
yes, maybe not as bad, but that was pretty brutal.
Well, yeah.
But Samhain's inside of Dawn's corpse and snaps Tracy's neck, and Dean and Sam play dead as he leaves.
And he doesn't really clock them. And then Sam leans over and says, like the wearing of masks, like that's the start of that Halloween tradition was supposedly to keep yourself disguised from Samhain and whatever. So he's like, I had a hunch. I went with it.
Dean's like, you had a hunch?
You had a hunch? You smeared a bunch of fucking blood on my face.
But also, like that was your big plan of thing that you maybe was going to work? Jesus Christ.
Got to do what you got to do.
So they follow the demons to a cemetery, and Dean begs Sam to use Ruby's knife.
Oh, right. Not just that, but we set up earlier at the house party with the bobbing for apples.
Yeah.
That the kids were also going to have a mausoleum party.
Which is a thing.
I guess.
That is a thing.
I've never done it.
I've never done it, but I've heard of kids doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It tracks.
Yeah. Spooky. There's a building in a cemetery.
It's vaguely vandalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very high school.
Makes sense. I get it.
And you're disturbed for these damn kids who need a parent.
Yeah. Let's all go like fuck on a bunch of graves.
Oh, no.
So that's the cemetery where Samhain is going and where the guys are going.
Exactly. And Dean's begging Sam to use Ruby's knife rather than his powers to fight him.
Yeah, and Sam is like, maybe this is too powerful for this. Like, I could do this. We need to win.
Yeah.
And Dean is like, not like that. You even said it's a road too far.
Yeah.
Like, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
So
You even told me this was like a step too far. It was like a violation. This would be a violation of our trust.
Yeah.
Much like if the two of us hosted a podcast.
Jesus Christ.
And you were to say,
Fuck you.
take my piece of it weeks early and just do it like it's fucking nothing. Just throw it away just because you can.
The most petty I've ever seen you.
We were brothers.
This better not make its way into the intro. I swear to God.
I'll never tell.
That's okay. I'll just do the intro without you.
And that would track too.
Oh my God. Samhain discovers the high schoolers partying in the mausoleum and locks them inside. Where
Just very like slowly and calmly
Yeah.
too. Like she doesn't say anything. They're like, hey, Mr. Don.
yeah, what are you doing, Don?
He just closes the
Yeah.
thing, turns it, walks away, and then they kind of like,
Don!
we're locked in. And then all of the fucking tombs, like the caps on them, start like shaking and coming off. And
So yeah, they
the kid that tried to get his dick wet earlier gets fucking eaten.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
By
Like, he
fucking
basically
zombies.
explodes.
Yeah.
He gets pulled into like one of the little slots in the
Yeah.
mausoleum, and just like a bunch of blood spills out, like a
I always
big
love when they
fucking
do that.
balloon pops.
I
Yeah.
fucking love that shit. And the others are freed by Dean.
Yes.
The zombies Samhain raised seem to be less resilient than other necromancy-raised zombies in the show, as Dean succeeded in destroying them solely by staking them to the ground with silver stakes.
And they're very much like Romero zombies, like
Yeah.
shuffly zombies.
Yeah.
Not like the zombie we met that was like the
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend or whatever,
Exactly,
like that from
yeah.
the episode a couple seasons ago now.
Yeah, rather than like using silver stakes to stake them into their own coffins, it's really just more of like you could just dispatch them pretty easy.
Well, and I think it's more to maybe, I mean, they do seem to stop moving, but I think it's more to hold them in place.
Yeah,
So that they're incapacitated and then he could burn them all because
Yeah.
he says he's going to torch the whole
totally.
place.
Sam goes after Samhain, who flashes a white light similar to what Lilith used against him, but Sam is, of course, unaffected. That's when you get another Sam moment.
There's a cool Sam moment where he goes like, yeah,
that doesn't work.
The demon flash thing doesn't work on me, and then proceeds to get like punched a bunch.
Yeah. It's true.
It's cool that it's like a cool, like badass Sam moment.
Instantly taken away.
Immediately he gets like the shit kicked out of him, which is sort of funny.
So Sam, of course, falls back on his powers.
Well, he loses the knife. He tries to reach for it a couple of times, and Samhain keeps dragging him back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I guess I'm going to use my demon powers.
He exercises Sam a great physical toll, but also right in front of Dean.
Yeah, Dean turns the corner and sees it.
Yeah.
He sees the person that he trusted. You could see the
Jesus
heartbreak.
Christ. I'm sure this is great to listen to.
You can see the heartbreak in Dean's eyes. You can feel it.
Yeah, Sam must have loved seeing that. Feels great.
Yeah, he probably did, didn't he?
Feels great.
Yeah, Sam must have loved that.
Sam did.
Well, it hurt Dean.
That's kind of part of it.
Dean just wanted to... No, it was wrong. Sam shouldn't have done it. Why did Sam tell him all about Uriel?
Look, if Sam's got that kind of power, why not use it? I'm on Sam's side now.
Hashtag Team Dean. Or hashtag
no.
Sam.
That's no. We are not.
Hey, SPN fam,
No,
let
no,
us
no.
know what side you're on. Clearly, I'm Team Dean, and over there is Team Sam. Yeah, who's your favorite? Who do you side with?
Hashtag Team Reen or hashtag Team Ram.
Oh, I mean, ordinarily on this show, I'd be Team Ram.
Yeah. Ram Reen.
Jesus.
So the next day, as Sam is packing up, Uriel appears and warns him not to use his powers again.
Yeah, we already know all about him, so.
He threatens Sam with obliteration the moment he stops being useful to the angels.
Yeah, he's like, you've been warned twice.
Yeah.
So if you're not useful, you're done.
Dunzo. He also suggests that Dean should get off his high horse and tell Sam to ask Dean what he remembers from hell.
Yeah.
Which at this point, Dean had already said, yeah, it's fine. I don't really remember everything.
Hell, it was fine.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Uriel leaves while his statement causes Sam to realize that Dean lied about recalling his time in hell. Elsewhere, we then cut to Dean sitting on a park bench watching all the children play that he saved.
I mean, not like the literal high schoolers, but just watching children play because...
Maybe he's worse, but...
Because the angel... Well, yeah, because now he's just by himself in a fucking park.
Watching kids.
They're like, hey, are you a cool teacher?
And he's
like, you can call me D.
Yeah, no. Don't worry. I'm watching them because I saved them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Castiel
shows up with... I mean, no pun intended, but just the jawline of an angel.
You're my angel, darling angel.
The lips of an angel.
The jaw of an angel.
My bro's in the next bed.
Oh.
This is a motel again.
I guess I never really moved on.
SPN fam, has anybody ever done a Lips of an Angel parody with Dean and Cass? Is there a Destiel Lips of an Angel parody?
There must be.
There's about to be.
Castiel appears and reveals the angels' true orders to do whatever Dean told them to do. Oh my God. There's no way that this isn't slash fiction.
Test it. Test it.
Take off your pants.
If I were an angel and I for 24 hours,
what would you do? I always hate those.
They make me so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
Again, that's like be like, you kids have enough chips down there.
But it was a test of Dean's steadiness under battlefield conditions.
Yes.
What would he do? Dean, thinking he's failed, asserts that he'd make the same decisions all over again if he had to, because of what he and Sam have saved.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, too, because he may technically have failed, because even Cass says, like, Samhain still got raised, the seals broke. And it's like the thing that happened before. It was already too late. That seal was
But he
broken.
does say that he did.
But
he
Cass
did,
personally says,
Yeah.
I'm not who you think I am. I do have doubts and
Oh my
questions.
God, you almost have a Cass voice there. It like came out for a
I
second.
almost accidentally kind of did it. It wasn't on purpose.
Ooh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah,
Cut me like a knife.
I might.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, he says that he personally was praying Dean would choose as he did, and also that he has questions and doubts about the plan from heaven.
Yeah.
Ooh, uh-oh.
He goes, I don't know what's right or what's wrong anymore.
Oh my God, you do have a season 4, Castiel. Where did you come from? My God. Do I regret saying that stuff about Uriel?
I'm not who you think I am, Dean.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to record that for later.
Is this the time to start a OnlyFans?
Just
It's only Cass audio.
reading like fanfic. Look, if you want us to start a Patreon, let us know.
I rescued you from hell. I can throw you right back in.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm
Show me some respect.
holy shit. I'm there. He warns that in the coming months, there will be more hard decisions for Dean.
I got a hard decision for you right now.
And the angel does not envy him in that.
Yes.
Well, and that is the end of that episode.
Yeah.
But before we get into our reviews, we've got a
We're
note.
just going to tell you about a bunch of the upcoming episodes, too.
No, we've got a note from a fellow hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more important.
So help me God if this is more Uriel lore. Could you imagine?
Somebody messages
Hey,
her.
I know you're not there yet, but I don't know. Just say it on this episode.
From Christine, who says, I'm really excited about this. Hi, guys. Just listening to the Metamorphosis episode. I like to save them for as long as I can stand it. Really enjoy
Sorry.
the anticipation. ... Ahem.
Wow.
I know.
Jesus. Turn of the
And wanted to weigh in on the is it possible to use medical technology to get rid of Sam's demon blood issue?
Ooh, right.
Yeah.
Your pitch for a full blood transfusion. Yeah.
So, Christine is an MD in the United States.
Great. We'll take your word for it.
Dr. Christine,
So here
welcome.
Here we go. Definitively, could you flush out all demon blood?
Specifically, Christine's job is interventional radiology. Think of surgery and radiology had a baby.
Ooh.
Yeah, very cool.
Interesting. Okay.
And a lot of what they do has to do with vascular medicine and access. There are a couple of options Sam might have.
Okay.
So, depending on if A, demon blood has the same components as human blood,
Right.
red cells, white cells, plasma, etc.
Sure.
And B, if the demonic properties of the blood are bound to just one or all of those components.
Right.
There is something called plasmapheresis, wherein your blood is removed from your body through a circuit, the non-plasma given back to you immediately, the plasma washed of any antigens, pathogens, irregular cells, and then given back to you through the same circuit.
Oh, Jesus. That's crazy shit.
Another option.
Wow.
Yep. Another option would be plasma exchange, wherein your blood is removed, the non-plasma parts given back to you, and someone else's plasma given to you at the same time. This is theoretically possible to do with whole blood, would need filters, might need to do it in stages, but I've never seen it done because there's no need with any medical condition I'm aware of.
Interesting.
The issue is usually just in the plasma. Hope this helps / informs. You guys are hilarious and maybe as thirsty for Jensen as I am. Impressive. Huge fan of the show. Always happy to weigh in on the medical aspect of things. It's fucking Dr. Christine.
That's cool as shit.
That's the fucking raddest shit I've seen. Thank you so much
Yeah.
to Dr. Christine.
That's
I'm
tight
only
as
referring
hell.
to you as that now. 'Cause
That's very, very, very cool.
also kind of proving me right.
I guess, yeah, technically.
That's,
yeah.
I mean, not knowing what the demonic properties and what it actually does to your body, and is it more than just blood related. But they keep referring to it as blood, and he drinks blood. So it's like...
Yeah. And then also, I wasn't 100% wrong to say they don't just ever fully transfuse your blood. But...
They could.
But that just means she hasn't encountered demon blood yet.
That's right.
Yet.
Fucking...
But you're about to, Dean.
Dr. Christine giving us hard facts about blood and being horny as hell.
Yeah.
I love that.
Welcome to the show.
Hell yeah. Put the capital D in MD.
Oh my God. More like, D.
D.
Oh, Lord.
That's incredible.
Oh, Lordy.
God, holy shit. A hunter and a doctor. Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
Love it. Well, now it goes on to our own reviews of this episode.
Sure.
So, what did you think? The episode. What you watched, not what you felt or heard.
Well, it's hard. It's really hard to separate those things.
Yeah. All right.
Episode is only painful memories for me now.
Try to do your best.
Apparently that's not good enough. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of exploring like the origin of Halloween. It's interesting though, because this episode feels like it kind of underdoes that.
Yeah.
It's cool, the idea that like Samhain is like a powerful demon. That the raising of Samhain is a very specific seal to be broken. That implies like a level of power and all those things, and even Samhain having the like demon flashbang thing or whatever.
Yeah.
All implies that. But the actual like, I feel like because we didn't see enough of like what Samhain would do.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but like way later in the series, we get a kind of like the graveyard opens up.
Yeah.
Things come out, and you're like, it's all back.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit.
Yes.
And it kind of felt like it should have been more, because we only really see zombies and one ghost.
Yeah, it's true.
We don't see like, we don't get like a
the
flash
promise of this.
We don't get like a flash of elsewhere in the town. We cut back to like the mom and the kid from earlier, and now there's like a vampire outside the door. Like, we don't see like the extent of it. You know what I mean?
If you have unlimited power, why use it so sparsely, right?
Well, and it feels like what the threat of Samhain should almost make you wish that the angels had orbital striked the town. You know what I mean? Like smited the town, because you'd be like, wow, it's town wide. This thing is spreading. Like, you'd be like, fuck. Like, maybe they should have let the angel. Like it should almost do that for you, but because it's so small and personal,
and they dealt with it so easily.
They dealt with it relatively easily. I know Sam had to use his powers, but like, and it is a kind of a struggle for Sam. We see him really pushing, but it does kind of feel like it's not big enough.
Yes.
And this isn't the season thing, you got to find that balance too. But if this demon is a seal unto itself, and it can only happen once every 600 years, we should see like how bad is it if even Samhain is out? And I feel like we don't get enough of that, and maybe it's because the angels also fuck off. We see them, they go, we're gonna smite the town. They go, no, don't, and then you just basically, for the most part, don't see them again. You get that one little short scene of them in the park, but you mostly don't see them again. It should almost be like, while this is happening, maybe we see some monsters elsewhere in the town, like with that family. We should see a quick little shot of Cass and Uriel being like, like we should see like a fuck kind of moment there, and we don't. And I think that it almost like undercuts the threat of it. Like, it doesn't feel like he's as big a demon as we're told he is.
I wish that,
it's a budget thing too, of course, and all that kind of
writer
shit,
and creator, but I wish that it was similar to, do you remember the episode of Buffy where they all become their characters that they're dressing up for Halloween as?
Oh, sure.
They do a really good job of like the whole town being like inundated by monsters at the same time, because all the vampires basically come in and take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, and then the other side to that is, so what the show is giving us a bit.
Yeah.
What the show's giving us about Samhain, I feel like it doesn't fully realize the promise of that.
Totally.
And then on the other half, they'll be like, this is the inspiration for Halloween. And then we just don't have a lot of Halloween.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that these teenagers are partying. There's really like no Halloweening.
There is one cool shot.
It's not like monsters are going like door to door and being like trick or treat and like ripping someone's throat. You know, like I feel like there should be more. Like the Christmas episode last season, even though it was contained to one house, it was like, oh, I get it. It was like, it's the Krampus thing. And like,
totally,
it felt a little more integrated to the holiday. And this was almost like they had two separate ideas and they kind of put them together and they didn't fully mesh.
I think there was one good shot of Samhain like walking, like almost like like the original Halloween movie of like walking through the streets while kids are trick or treating.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, certainly riffing off that movie, but I just mean like on the holiday. Like,
yeah. Overall Halloween stuff. There's lots of great shots of Dean eating candy, which I love.
Yeah. And that stuff's a ton of fun. I think performance-wise, this episode is very good.
Yeah.
And that counts for everyone.
Including the guest roles.
The guy playing Samhain, the sister, the other witch,
Tracy,
Uriel, Cass, Sam, Dean. They're all very good in this. I think all that stuff works. It's interesting. Something's not quite, doesn't quite fully click.
Sure.
It's just, one too many things maybe.
So what are you?
So I think I'm going to give this 3.75 stabs in my back.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. So fucking dramatic. So, my review. I really liked the introduction of Uriel. I thought Uriel was really, really great. There's so much like history and lore about Uriel that we only just got a hint about. And I bet we'll hear a lot more in the future. I
would take that bet.
I
bet we won't.
This character is such a huge like introduction here because this is the second angel we finally get to see. We finally get to see another angel. At this point, we only thought there was one angel. I mean, that's all we were proven, right? So the fact that it's like now we just get two out of nowhere in like just a few days, like
and if we already thought that angels were a little bit, soldierly and warrior, like Uriel makes Cass look like he's compassionate.
Yeah.
Like Uriel is just like, I'll kill every one of you mud monkeys to get it. Like whatever.
He's like, you mean nothing. We were created first. Like,
yeah, like he's like contemptuous of humanity. So like, he's almost like doing God's work out of spite.
Yes.
Like there's something very dangerous about that.
Yeah.
Cass still, even with the like, I can throw you back in.
Yeah.
Like, even with that stuff, he's still like on their side.
Yes.
Uriel is like a threatening presence.
He doesn't
where he's just like, I don't give a shit about you. I don't care what the plan is from the guy upstairs.
Yeah.
You get in the way, I'm gonna smite every last goddamn one of you if it stops hell from rising.
Exactly.
This could be an empty planet as long as there's not hell on Earth.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really love that. I do think that there is something missing from this episode, but I definitely always remember it, and maybe it's just because of how powerful that actor is. Robert Wisdom, I think, is the actor.
Uriel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really great performance. I love the guy who plays Don. Really, and then his switch to Samhain is really, really well done. And even Tracy's sort of switch there, like going from like the like scared teen into like the witch. Like it's
some great performances.
Really, really good stuff. Dean, there's a lot of really funny candy moments with Dean. There's a really good one where we didn't even talk about this, but they get back to the motel and there's this like little kid in an astronaut costume.
Oh, God. Yeah. Wow. We didn't talk about this at all.
This little chubby kid who comes up to them and it's just like candy. And he's like, dude, this is a motel. And he's like, candy.
Yeah. And then like later they come out and it's been Devil's Night.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Impala's been egged.
Yes.
And Dean just looks at it all and then he just goes, astronaut.
It's very funny.
Pretty funny.
I like it because
it's a good counter to like the kind of like weird sexy teenager or like call this character a whore kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like those supernatural moments where it's like Dean is as petty as a child.
Yes.
Like, that's very funny to me.
Well, also because Sam was just like, we've got candy. And he's like, no, we did have candy.
There's all these wrappers.
We
on the
don't
fucking
have
seat.
candy.
Yeah. It's like, we got a bunch in the car. He's like, we don't.
No.
Nope.
I love that. There's so much Dean eating throughout this entire episode.
Yeah.
It's really good. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, I think there is a component missing, and I think the biggest problem is just like because they brought in all the angel stuff, Samhain just doesn't feel as like doesn't get enough time.
And maybe it's also because we don't see the angels and Samhain have any interaction or like face off, or like Sam, tries to do the demon thing and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then, Cass or Uriel come in and, like it feels like they should be more involved because they were like, we're going to smite the whole town to stop this thing from happening. And then it happens. And then they see presumably Sam and Dean struggling and then still don't step in.
Yeah.
And I know they kind of work it in like that our orders were to do what you said to do, but like, I think it would help ramp the threat up.
I think part of the issue too is that they've made Samhain into just a demon, and we already know what demons are on this show. We've seen the worst of them with Lilith, but at the end of the day, it's like we've dispatched them pretty easy. So you can't make him so much more powerful. So it's like, well, I guess it's just a
should also
run of
almost
the mill
be like
demon.
a different like fundamental force or
exactly.
something.
Which in later seasons we sort of get those types of things. But it's like even with the scarecrow, like that was a god.
But this is the same kind of aborted promise as the 7 deadly sins.
Totally.
That ended up just being demons, but it's like, but they're the sins.
Yeah,
they should be the biggest demons there are.
It's like, but they're demons, and Lilith is the worst. So it's like, the like scale and hierarchy of demons becomes really challenging to make them one more powerful than the other. It's because it's
I think they have a hard time figuring out where in the ranking they want to put them.
It's like in DC where it's like who's more powerful than which superhero, and it's like this one's a clone of that one. Does that one become more powerful than this one? It's like who's faster? Like it becomes really challenging because it's like if you're all accessing the same sort of force, it's like, well then how can you be so much more powerful? It definitely paints them a bit into the corner, and they're just figuring out how demons work still. Like
it does kind of feel that way,
but I do always really like the performances in this episode, and I think it's funny. I'm gonna give it 4 razor blade candies.
Ooh, there you go.
4 out of possible 5, I think. Yeah, that's where I'm sort of sitting with this right now.
Nice. A razor blade candy stuck in your throat like so much betrayal.
Jesus Christ. Tastes great.
I bet it does for you.
Well, that is it for this week.
And possibly the show.
Jesus. They begged us not to end this. We'll do this out of spite for the next 7 years.
I was fully content to keep going, but I don't know how I could let this stand.
Yeah. Well, next week's episode, there's actually this really great monster that I'd love to talk about for a minute.
Yeah, the monster doesn't show up till like season 7, but we're just going to talk about him.
So much. So funny. Oh, gosh. Well, if you have a note of...
My lore segment, I'm just going to start talking about the music that shows up in future episodes.
I don't care. It's fine.
You will.
I won't.
You could show me some respect.
Oh, my God. Never mind. Actually, I will. Yeah,
I'm both kind of hurt and also like sort of like excited that I've unlocked my season 4 Cass impression.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's good.
It might also just be because I'm all like hoarse and stuff. I might not be able to do it normally.
Oh, no. Let's hold on to it. Record it.
Ooh.
Why don't you record it for me for later?
Yeah, read this.
Supple body? What?
You're a dirty little mud monkey, aren't you?
Oh, my God. Oh, that's both sexy and bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
He said that. Uriel said mud monkey, and I went,
Ugh.
Uriel said mud monkey, and I was begging for yellow fever. I was like, bring me back to that episode. It feels better than this.
It's like in Harry Potter when they call them mudbloods.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I get it. It's the point.
Yes.
Like, is to show the contempt and the whatever, but it's like...
It comes from a real place in some ways.
Yeah,
though.
that must be at least slightly
It's based on something, at least.
It's a little too close to home.
So, if you have a note about a future episode or the one we just did or a past episode, we're getting a lot of those lately as our new listeners are going back and listening to all of our episodes.
Yeah.
We love getting that stuff. So, if you notice stuff, if you're in a other profession that you want to give us information for.
Yeah, if you're like a specialist in cleansing towns, you want to weigh in on how this episode went. Let us know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
God,
you committed war crimes in Grenada,
Yeah,
and you want to tell us what the angels did wrong in this episode.
Yeah, what they could have done. Also, you do it in a kind of a sexy, thirsty way.
Ooh.
I'm into that. Doctor. Take my temperature. You can send us an email to
ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
That's right. We are at ghostfacerspod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on all the platforms that you listen to it, so it gets it automatically in our week, but it also it shows good for those fucking analytics and datas and all of those things. So make sure you do that, and while you're trying to support us in that way, why don't you also leave a review on one of those platforms?
Please, yeah, we'll read. If you leave us a 5-star review, we'll read it on the show. And if you leave us a review somewhere where we wouldn't get a notification, so basically anywhere other than Apple Podcasts,
Yes.
take a screenshot of it, send it to us, like DM it to us. We'll read it on the show.
Absolutely. And also, if you want to wear your
Maybe
pride,
Richard will be planning on reading it, and I'll just beat him to the punch.
Sure, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's participation.
I'm not okay.
It's because I broke the rules. That's what it is.
I don't ask much.
I mean, you ask a lot. All right. So make sure you buy our merch on ghostfacerspodcaststore.com and subscribe to our other podcast,
The Dr. DC Podcast. We talk about DC Comics. We talk about the lore of superheroes, and we answer listener questions. So if you enjoy how we talk about monsters and things here, sometimes weeks before we were planning to, you might enjoy how we do that with superheroes over on the other show. So yeah, go check out Dr. DC Podcast.
Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.
I mean it.
Look, you're still doing the cast voice.
I'm gonna grip you tight and raise you from perdition.
Oh my God.